What's going on, Soul Tribe? I salute the divinity in you, and welcome to my channel, Alchemist. Justin here, and bringing a little nugget to add to the Soul Tribe archive. And in today's video, I'm going to be talking about the North Node in Cancer in the 11th house. Now, when you talk about the North Node, a couple things. You may hear it referred to as the Dragon's Head or also as Rahu, but the North Node is always connected with the South Node because they're always in opposite to one another, and that's known as the Dragon's Tail. And when you think about the South Node, that's where you've been. This could be your past, like wisdom and things that you call upon. The North Node is where you're going. This is uncharted territory. I like to think of it too as an area, whatever house that the North Node is highlighting, is an area that is wanting to get some mastery into it, really wanting to, there's an emphasis on that house. There's some growth that really comes into that house, and that's why it may feel a little uncomfortable because it's going to be opposing to something that you're used to. So, but the North Node is always leading towards this growth. It's really neat working with the nodes. And then you talk about Cancer. Cancer is ruled by the lovely moon, and they are the cardinal water sign, receptive in nature. And that's a very interesting combination for Cancer. I find that Cancer is a very nurturing energy because it can sense when others need things. That the moon just knows how to respond, to how to get things back into balance, to be able to sense when something's not in its cycle. Because being ruled by the moon, Cancer is aware of the cycles of the life. It can feel those fluctuations in the energy. And I find that, Cancer, that there's a very strong intuition with Cancer. And so, and with all of the water signs. And so, being that cardinal sign is really trusting that initial feeling and then just allowing that high priestess energy to flow through with Cancer. But yeah, very nurturing sign, very caring sign, one that I think can really grow a lot, I think, as well. But then you get to the 11th house. This in traditional astrology was known as the house of good spirit. And the 11th house, some of the themes that it covers are going to be like your friends, friendships. This could be even like the nature of even like or characteristics of those friendships. It can be about patronage, it could be about your advancement through friends or patrons. This can be about social acquaintances, social acquaintances, associates. This can also deal about with your hopes, your dreams, your faith, what your aspirations, and just like good expectations for the future groups and things along those lines, join different like organizations, things like that. So when you're combining these places, a couple things to think about. You by whole sign, you'd have a Virgo rising, and you're going to want to look to see where the moon's at in your chart, because the moon's going to be associated with that, or is going to be responsible for this house, and those themes are going to flow to that wherever the moon is at. So that's going to be something you want to pay attention to. But one thing that I would talk about with this person is, how is that friendship looking? Because that 11th house does need to network. And that's something with Cancer. It's nurturing those friendships and not just being a friend where you're just giving all the time. With when we have these sort of like relationship, like you and other houses, then there needs to be sure of that reciprocity. And that may be one thing with the Cancer energy, is where that it could give too much. So that might be something to look to kind of look into when we're talking about this placement. But I find that this can be a great one because Cancer has that intuitive energy. They can sense other people's emotions and things and what they need. There can be where you can foster some really long lasting relationships, and ones that can be there for you through the ups and downs, that'll be there, that'll help you through the cycles in life. Those really kind of steadfast friends that I think that you can build with this. That's definitely one aspect. Being a part of a group, I think, could be something else that is very beneficial. And whatever that you find interesting. Maybe you want to join like a science club, or maybe there's something, maybe like there's a star tracker group, or maybe you want to, something with cars. Maybe you like a mechanics group and you're just learning different tricks or whatever that's looking like. Being involved in some sort of organization, some sort of community, I think is very important, would be very important for this one, that you can feel safe in and feel that you can that there's something that you can get from this, like, it's like, and I mean just like from growth from this, if not anything else. I think too that with having that South Node in Capricorn, that you would have a lot to share with others, that you can build relationships with like different benefactors, speaking to different people's emotions and whatever your gifts are and however you want to promote them. And what are your hopes and your dreams? Like what do you want to be when you grow up? What do you see yourself doing? Because that's what that North Node in Cancer is aspiring to, and it's trusting that this is the right path when you're going towards your dream. Like, okay, like I need to join this group, I need to, like, does that feel right? Does it feel in alignment? That's something really important with Cancer. Meditate on that. Sit under the moon. Work with the lunar cycles. That could be something when you're working with your hopes and dreams, setting intentions with the new moon, planting the seed process, growing it, and then just repeat. Did you follow that moon? That's why, like, the moon, when I say like Cancer can grow, that's what I mean. Like there's a when you think about Cancers, you hear like sometimes associated as the mothers of the zodiac, and I mean, what do mothers do? They're raising children. They're raising families. They evolve as the woman goes through from the mother to the maiden to the crown. They're always raising and growing and passing along this wisdom. So I think you have a lot to offer here, I'd say, with this placement, and whatever gifts that you have there. So yeah, what are your dreams? What do you want to do with yourself? I think that could be something that's really cool, and you can find the associated things too. And you may find yourself being just like having Virgo rising, Pisces on the opposite end. You may deal with a lot of watery type of people, and not just sun signs. I mean, maybe you deal with a lot of people with water moons, or maybe you have maybe like watery Mercuries or something along those lines. However that might be looked. So that might even be something to pay attention to. Do you notice there's a lot of water around you, that you have that sort of empathy, or that sort of like that attunement to that around you there? So that's just another little something to think about. But those would just be some basic things that I would talk about with this placement. You definitely need the whole chart to get an idea of this. So if you have this placement, or know someone who's working with this placement, down in the comment section, tell us how this is manifesting for you. Let's make friends. Let's be friends. And if you want to work with this placement more personally, really kind of think about maybe you hadn't thought about some themes in this chart that way, and you want to work with these more intentionally, like explore different themes. Down in the description box is a link to how to get in touch with me, and we can discuss the services that I provide, and then go from there. Again, we're connecting. And also, in the description box, you'll find, let's talk about on this channel, if you're wanting to work with the energies, there's a link or a playlist for all the videos that I post. I release one every Mercury day that's on a Wednesday, and it's talk about just the weekly transits, how to work with them energies. And then there's a link for my other channel, the Charity and Friends, which again, working with the moon for you, North Node in Cancer. Working with the moon can be very, very beneficial for you. So if you, on that channel, the Charity and Friends, I discuss all lunar shenanigans, what sign she's in, what phase she's in, when she's going void of course, which depending on when you're watching this soon. So you may want to tune in for that. But I think that could be something where if you want to see where the moon's at, get an I Ching reading on top of that, and then ends up with some tarot, that's your jam. That's your spot. But I think that's all I got for you. So until next time, stay mindful out there. Keep raise that vibration through the roof. That's what that gesture is. Raise it sideways. Whatever. And I will catch you on the next one. Later.